Nothing is ever as good or as bad as it seems. A lot of people said 600s are dead, but if you consider the number of models available to buy in 2021 and 2022, you would realize all is not lost just yet. Suzuki announced its 2022 lineup and the GSX-R600 is on the list. Honda initially insisted that the 2021 CBR600RR is only for Japan, but now it's available in Australia, Thailand, Indonesia, and even the Middle East. The R6 discontinuation came right before the R7 launched. Now the UK and the US both get a race version with slight variations that I'm gonna reveal later in the video. Plus, in Australia and the US you can still get the previous year street version R6. Kawasaki has been tight-lipped about 2022, but they have killed off the ZX6R in Europe and India thanks to emission norms. But the brighter side is that in the US and Australia you can still buy the 2021 ZX6R. So whether you're in the US, UK, Australia, Middle East or Southeast Asia, you've still got 600cc options. The trick is to act now if you really want to experience the unique thrill of an inline-4 middleweight true Supersport motorcycle. For the naysayers as well as the die-hard 600cc fans, I will share a comparison of the 600cc variants availability across countries, prices and specs for each of the big 4 manufacturers. Hit the like button if you're not giving up on 600s, cause I'm not. The 2022 GSX-R 600 is available in the US in an old school grey and white and an orange and black at $11,499 and as a GSX-R 600Z for $100 premium. And you can still find the 2021 GSX-R 100th anniversary edition on the US website for the same price. Unfortunately, these don't seem to be available in Europe, Asia or Australia, so American Suzuki aficionados have a reason to feel privileged. Kawasaki also seems to love the US and Australian markets. In the US you can get the 2020 model in orange and black. Non-ABS is $10,000 while ABS is $1,000 more. You can also get the 2021 ZX6R, which is non-ABS, costs $10,199 and is available in a teal black and a white grey color combination. Australia gets the ZX6R only as the 2021 KRT model for 16,680 Australian dollars. And I've only talked about 2 manufacturers so far and you can already see 9 variants on the screen. Take that, doomsday foretellers. The Yamaha R6 fans in the US and Australia can still get the 2020 R6 street variant depending on availability at the dealerships, but the big news that came in last week is that just like the Yamaha R6 Race is available in the UK, it will be available in the US as the GYTR R6 starting April 2022. The difference is that in the UK the website shows it in an icon blue and a midnight black option, starts at £12,099 sterling. In terms of looks, you also have the option of the GYTR cowling set in the UK. In the US, however, the race variant will come standard with the genuine Yamaha technology racing kit, and it includes a white primered cowling among a host of other racing parts and costs $18,399. The price tag has got mixed reactions among the racing community, and I will talk about the race parts it includes when we talk specs. The Racebike R6s cannot be registered or legally ridden on the streets. Honda also got a lot of us excited with the announcement of an updated new generation CBR600RR for 2021, but disappointed a lot of fans when they confirmed that the bike would only be released in Japan. As of the making of this video, US gets the previous generation CBR600RR 2020 is black, costs $11,799 and the same generation version as the 2021 model in red and costs $11,899. The ABS variants for each model year cost $1,000 more. Our Australian friends get luckier and for 27,643 Australian dollars get the updated new generation CBR600RR. No, just 2 R's. The Middle East Honda website also gets the same variant as do Japan, Thailand and Indonesia. You can see a pattern that the US and Australia have the most options thanks to the emission norms being less stringent than Europe. And for all these 600cc motorcycle options, let's look at the specifications, starting with the most updated motorcycle in the class, the CBR600RR. It was often called out for lacking power, but the new generation CBR produces 119 horsepower, which is 2 ponies more than the R6 street variant. The power figures of the R6 race variants aren't available as yet, but they will vary based on a lot of factors and not a fair comparison with street legal bikes. The GSX-R 600's 599cc 325cc inline-4 engine continues to be the least powerful at 104 horsepower and 44 foot-pounds of torque, the ZX6R is still the most powerful with its 636cc cheater engine producing 128 horsepower and 52 foot-pounds of torque. But that's only half the story without considering the weight. The Suzuki is now one of the lightest at 412 pounds or 187 kilos since the new generation CBR600RR just gained 8 kilos for some strange reason. As things stand, the previous generation CBR available in the US is the lightest at 410 pounds compared to the new generation variant available in Australia, which weighs a whopping 428 pounds or 194 kilos. And no, I'm not gonna make a weight joke because my 2019 ABS ZX6R is the heaviest at 430 pounds, which is the same as the KRT available in Australia for 2021. The non-ABS 2021 variant available in the US weighs 425.6 pounds. The R6 Street variant weighs 419 pounds or 190 kilos, but the R6 Race weight with the GYTR kit is unknown as of now. If you're wondering which one has the best power to weight ratio, that is still my beloved ZX6R. All the bikes have slipper clutches. The R6 and the ZX6R come standard with an upshift only quickshifter. The new generation CBR600RR is the only one in the class that has an up and down quickshifter thanks to the ride-by-wire tech Honda finally decided to give it. The R6, even with the GYTR kit, still has an up only quickshifter, but it does get a GP shift in the kit. All 4 bikes have fully adjustable suspension. What is a bit disappointing to race and track guys is that the R6 Race, even with the GYTR kit, still has the KYB suspension that's on the street version. That may not cut it for racing, but at least gives the option to the rider to get an aftermarket Racebike suspension of their choice. When it comes to braking, the Yamaha R6 still has the biggest rotors, 320mm dual discs in the front and Nissan 4-piston calipers. With the GYTR, you do get steel braided lines and an ABS emulator. GS6R, CBR and ZX6R have 310mm dual discs in front with 4-piston calipers from Brembo, Tokiko and Nissan respectively. All bikes have pretty good street tires, 120/70/17s in the front and 180/55/17s in the rear, with the exception of Suzuki, which interestingly decided to go with a 190/50/17 rear tire. I use 190s on my ZX6R at the track and I like the stability they give me mid-corner. And even though fuel efficiency isn't what these bikes are about, let's look at the fuel capacity. The Honda CBR600RR has the highest fuel capacity at 18 liters or 4.8 US gallons. The ZX6R and the GSX-R 600 both have 17 liter or 4.5 US gallon tanks. The R6 sits right in the middle with 4.6 or 17.4 liter fuel tank. The GYTR kit even has a racing fuel cap. In fact, here's the whole list of the GYTR race parts the Yamaha R6 Race variant gets in the US as standard and optional in the UK. An Akrapovic full system race exhaust, AIS block-off plates, a programmable ECU, a lightweight wiring harness, a PC interface cable, GYTR on-off switch, an ABS emulator, racing sprocket and chain set, a shark fin rear sprocket guard, front brake lever guard, adjustable rear sets, rear stand hooks, a paddock stand, race seat, and of course, race fairings. If you wanted to build your own instead, you could of course buy the previous year version that's still available in the US. The new generation 2021 Honda CBR600RR is the next most updated motorcycle in this comparison, with a Honda electronic steering damper, throttle-by-wire, a 6-axis IMU which is a first in this class. The CBR also gets 5 riding modes, 3 are presets, 2 are customizable for power, traction control, wheelie control and engine braking. The optional Quickshifter can do both up and down shifts. Traction control has 9 levels and it can also be switched off. It is also the only bike in this class to have winglets, which Honda claims can improve downforce for improved corner entries and corner acceleration. This is now the most technologically advanced motorcycle in the class, and the fact that it's available in Australia makes me wonder if its entry in the US might still be a possibility in 2022. Oh, and did I mention that there's also a track-only version just like the R6 Race has a lot of racing parts in the HRC racing kit. More details are not exactly clear at the moment. The Suzuki GSX-R 600 also has 2 power modes, Race and Street, and an electronically controlled steering damper and a lap timer on the dash. Suzuki's focus on weight saving, stability and handling is what makes it a great bike and very popular with its fans. The ZX6R also has 2 power modes, full and low, and 3 levels of traction control plus off. The Quickshifter does upshifts only, and god I miss an auto blipper for track use on that thing. It is my personal favorite, and my 2019 ZX6R makes a lot more power and weighs a lot less than the stock ZX6R. Like I said in the beginning, for middleweight Supersport, all is not lost just yet, and beyond the new models, you also have the option of buying them used for a lot cheaper. If you are a little more open to experimenting with the middleweight segment itself, subscribe to my channel and watch another comparison video I recently made about a new crop of middleweight motorcycles that are getting popular. There are also some oddball middleweights like the Daytona 765 or the GSX-R 750 and a few others that are supposed to be back, but that's for another video some other week. This is for us trying to dispel the dismay naysayers have caused in the motorcycle world.